before we begin, I've placed one card off to my pocket as a prediction, but I've marked it so you know that I'm not going to do any weird switches inside my pocket, okay? For that to make sense though, we need a card selected. So as always, I'm going to go through the deck. You're not here, so just think stop. Any way you like. Think stop, think stop. Oh, good choice. Remember this card, okay? Don't forget it. And I'm genuinely going to lose it into the center of the deck, just like that. Now, I don't know what card you've selected, but I do know my prediction. So let's get a drum roll. And for the very first time, I'm going to reach into my pocket, no switches, and look. The card that you just selected, my prediction even, matches exactly. Boom. The 8 of spades. You're welcome. Thank you very much. Oh, it wasn't the 8 of spades? Fuck. Okay, alright, no worries. I've been here before. This is not my first rodeo. I'm going to try and show you something. Shit. I even tore it as well, so I couldn't do anything like this. Okay, look, no worries. Just think of your card. What was your card for the very first time? Look, you can see the tear in the corner. You can see it's from the same deck. It's got the blue back design. So for the very first time, just think about your card and imagine that 8 of spades slowly becoming your 4 of hearts. Yo, what's going on? I know, it's Friday, what the fuck are we doing here? But the weather's really good, I'm feeling great. And I thought, why not teach you guys some fresh magic? Maybe this is called Fresh Friday. Maybe this is called Fresh Friday. This is a good idea. Maybe, I don't know. But I've had this trick in my wheelhouse for a little while, and what it is, as you just seen, it's a standard effect, right? Card selected, cards lost, prediction is shown, prediction's wrong, change the prediction, magician saves the day. Which is generally a boring, the most basic trick you can do card plot. But I figured, what would make it interesting? And I love this idea of making it more interesting and more fooling. And by doing a few simple things like tearing that corner off the prediction so that it can't be swapped, and then having the card that they thought of become that torn prediction, then it makes it a little bit more interesting, just aesthetically, just looks more visually pleasing to watch because it's interesting. People don't see torn cards very often. And then by using something special, which you're about to learn, it takes up that impossibility from a standard sort of effect, and by adding one more element of deception to it, it suddenly makes it really unbelievable, and almost to the point where I'd be comfortable doing this as a main piece in my walk around magic. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting for you guys to sort of see the combination of methods that I've used, to see how just changing the aesthetics or simple details of the look of an effect of effects in general that we all know and love. It's interesting to see how much more powerful they can become with really minor changes. So sit back, relax, get ready to learn it. And also, welcome to all the new subscribers on the channel, and thanks to all the OGs that's been here since day one. If you haven't done so already, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button. Do it now, headbutt it, bash it with your elbows, and become a new subscriber so you can all enjoy the free content that I post Tuesdays, Thursdays, and live every Sunday. Maybe even now Fresh Fridays. What do you guys think? Should we do Fresh Fridays? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you're excited to learn this, then hit that like button. But without any further ado, let's go learn today's Fresh Friday trick. You're going to need a couple of things for this. You're going to need a pair of duplicate 4 of hearts from the same deck, and you're going to need to get yourself a double facer. So I've got a 8 of spades, king of hearts double facer, and then the matching face card to that double facer, okay? So I've got my king of hearts, my regular one, my double facer, 8 of spades, king of hearts, and 2 duplicate 4 of spades. Now, I've already torn these 2 cards, but I'll show you what you need to do. You need to take the regular 4 of spades and your double facer, making sure that the card that matches, so in this case my king of hearts and this king of hearts, which is going to be on the bottom of the deck, the matching card goes face to face with the 4, alright? And then what you're going to do is holding them squarely together, you're going to making sure not to split them, gripping from all 4 edges, you're going to tear the 2 corners off as one. Okay, so these are the corners that I tore earlier. You're going to, and some yellow fluff from the pocket. But you're going to tear them off together and get rid of them. Or you can use them in the effect somehow if you want, right? That leaves you with 2 cards with identical tears in them. So now you're going to do the setup. You're going to place this prediction anywhere you like. You can place it in your pocket, you can place it on the table, you can place it under the carpet, you can slide it into Epstein's cell because nobody will be looking. So for now I'm going to place the 8 of spades into my pocket and continue with the rest of the setup. And place the King of Hearts, just the regular face card, on the bottom with the torn corner 4 of Hearts above it, okay? And then with the regular 4 of Hearts, I'm going to place it 4 cards down in the deck. So 4 cards down is that 4 of Hearts, okay? And that is your setup. Now it's an elaborate setup, but in reality you need 2 cards. You need a torn 4 of Hearts and the torn matching double facer. So if you keep these in your box under the cellophane, then you can take them in and out of the deck and perform this wherever you like, okay? And you can use a borrowed deck. As long as it's a bike deck, you can use a borrowed deck. So in essence, it's just 2 cards, but you can keep these on you at all times. Okay, so I placed the torn corner towards myself. So the torn corner's over here. And I got that 4 of Hearts, as you remember, 5th down from the top. And now we're going to execute Cull Force. So it looks like this. As I spread through cards, I'm going to ask you to say stop wherever you like, and wherever you say stop, for example here, that will be the 4 of Hearts, okay? And it works like this. I'll turn the 4 face up so you can track what's happening. I spread the first 2 cards and then in my fingers, and then I spread them like this apart, okay? And this gives me a bit of, if you look from the side, this sort of creates a little bit of shield for me. Then I spread the next 2 and do the same sort of thing. So I've got a big surface area here. As opposed to it being thin, it's spread quite wide, right? And this is just going to give me a lot of block and cover for my angles. Then I'm going to cull the 4 of Hearts. So this is the 5th card. There's 4 cards here. The cull looks like this. I'm going to place that 4 under these 4 cards, right? But I'm going to use these fingers, my middle finger and my ring finger, to slide it under. And at the same time, my thumb here on my left hand is going to pull this card to cover it, okay? So I'll try and show you like this. This goes under and my thumb pulls. Once the 4 of Hearts hits these fingers, so once it goes from my left hand to my right hand fingers are going to pull that 4 under the cards, right? Like that. So at speed from the top, it looks like this. Spread, spread, place under. This thumb pulls over, and now I can continue shifting cards under that 4, okay? And from underneath, it looks like this. Make a big surface area. Take that 4. Now, whenever someone says stop, all I'm going to do is stop wherever they say. Load whatever. If they want this card, I can load it under the 4. If they want this card, I just stop where I am. And wherever they say stop, I can square everything up and show them the 4. So from the exposed view, we'll spread some cards. I'll steal that 4 out, and then they say stop here. Maybe they want this card, so I'll go like that and show them the 4. You can just do a riffle force as well, that works too. So you can riffle down the edge, have them say stop. But with the riffle force, you don't want to flash this, right? So when you get here, boom, have them take the card from you, or turn it like that, because you don't want to flash the bottom card. Either way, that 4 gets lost into the deck. Now, you can reveal your prediction however you want, but it's important that you don't flash the back. So I like to reach in and pull it out slowly. Like this, boom. And at this point, the effect has gone wrong. So it's like the magician in trouble plot. Now you can pull this from an envelope or a wallet, whatever you want to do to build attention. Now, I'm going to spin this torn edge towards myself. And as the 4 is here with the matching torn edge, right, I'm going to, with my left hand, use my thumb to kick this deck over. But I'm not going to do it in front of everyone. I'm going to do it so that they can't see this face, all right? So I come here, and I'm gonna align that 8 on top of that deck then. So it's here, my thumb is gonna turn the deck over, but angled towards myself as I place the 8 of spades on top. And now I'm in this position, the 4 of hearts and the 8 of spades. But it looks like I just have one card, right? It looks like I've just got one card because you can see through to that king of hearts, but reality is 2. Now you're going to want to do a pinky break underneath the top 2 cards, 1, 2, like this. Or you can, if you can't do the pinky break, you can just pull up because it's a torn edge. As long as you pull 1 card and then 2 cards at this angle, so you're pointing it this way, they won't see that it's 2 cards. But I prefer to do the pinky break, so 1, 2, and now you can show this card all around, which is nice. It's a really nice display as long as you pinch it and don't split it, right? And I'm literally just pinching the cards. I'm positioning my thumb and fingers just beneath the tiny pip and the 8 here. So there's the 8 and the pip. I'm going to place my thumb and fingers right there. And what I'm going to execute now is the paintbrush change by Roy Walton. So most of you will already know this, and I'm not going to teach you here in depth today, but the paintbrush change essentially is, as I bring my hand up, so both hands up, these cards are going to connect like a book, like this. And I'm going to place this corner to match this corner, so they literally want to close like a book. And there's 2 important details: that you don't want to put the flesh of your thumb pad over the card, otherwise when this goes up, this will get stuck. And you don't want these cards to go under the deck. They're going to be wedged in by your fingers. Because in a moment, you're going to slightly split the cards, and as you apply pressure up like this, as you squeeze your hand together, that card's going to flick on top of the deck, okay? So this is a brief explanation of the paintbrush change, but you all know what it is. So I come here, and I do this under the guise of as I'm displaying the front and then the back of the cards. The motivation makes sense to do that, right? So, boom, you can see the back of the card. And if anything, you want to kind of angle slightly to your right so they don't see this card edge flip over, right? So I'm here, and you can see the back, okay? Just like that. So one more time, you can see the torn edge. You can see it's from the same deck. And now I want to sort of flash this, but only in their peripherals. I don't want to do the change and then be like, okay, so I'm going to place the deck down. And what's nice is that this torn edge is going to be hidden with camouflage because it's the same card, right? It's the same card here. And there's also one important tip too to mention. When you tear these cards, and they're in position at the beginning, tear up and towards yourself, which will give you this nice white tear edge here. But when this card's face down, you won't have a tear edge because it's torn downwards. It'll be a smooth edge, right? So just remember to tear. If you hold it with your left hand, tear with your right hand coming upwards. Anyway, so you're here in this position. You can show the cards like this. You're going to execute the paintbrush change from the exposed view again, like that. And if you slightly angle to your right, it'll hide it even more. And all you need to do now is peripherally just flash the king, so you can just come down and maybe show like this. And what's nice is that you can cover this edge with the card as well. So you, for example, you can show the 8. You can say, look, it's got the 8 on the front. It's from the same deck. But it's not your card. And now I've just sort of subtly, as I'm describing the back, they can see nothing's happened to the top of the deck. And you don't want to make a thing of it. It's just in the peripherals of them. But either way, I'm in this position now. I can get rid of the deck. I can put it in my pocket. When I bring it back out, I can ditch this card. Anything you want to do. But at this point, the card has been changed to the 4 of hearts. Lastly, if you don't feel comfortable doing the paintbrush change as a color change, this is the coolest thing. You can just turn the 8 over and change it, which looks great. What looks even better though is if you're here, turn the deck to face them, so the torn edge is there, and watch this. This just looks so fooling. If you turn the 8 over, they can still see that king, but it becomes the 4. And even better is if you turn it over and push the the 4 forward, sorry, so without splitting it. So you just turn it over. Look, nothing leaves their view. So they can see that king of hearts. They can see that king of hearts. They can see that king of hearts, and it becomes the 4, which might even be a stronger change. I just like the openness of the paintbrush change. But again, you can just do this and say, watch. The other thing you can do is if you know the Tamariz subtlety, then this can look insane. I'm not going to explain that because it's not my subtlety to teach, but it's basically a way to turn the card over and have it out jogged. And if you can do that, then it looks like nothing happened at all. But it looks better if you do that from the back side. So with the torn corner towards yourself, do this, and it looks just insane. And there you have it. That was it, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. There's so much work I have on double backers and using them in interesting and sort of different ways to how they're generally used that I'm going to start sharing with you over the next few months. So if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. And for all the subscribers that are already on the channel since day one, then you guys are in for a special treat because there's so much fun stuff coming to do with double backers and this sort of premise that I've been playing with. But guys, I'll be back on Sunday for the Sunday session live with Rory, Adam. We'll be talking about everything to do with this brand new book. So you guys are going to be the very first to find out all the details. Tune in. It's going to be a banger. All right, guys. See you on Sunday. Peace.